Ravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hari Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridvaradhari Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hari Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivashari Go Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Vishnupada Paramahanta Paribhashkacharya Ashtottara Sishimad Ase Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Garantara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Tai Gaur Premanandi. All glory to the Sama devotees, all glory to the Sama devotees, all glory to the Sama devotees, all glory to Sri Guru Sri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So reading today from 6th Canto, Chapter 14, texts 23 through 26. Chittaketur Uvacha Bhagavan Kim Naviditam Tapo Jnana Samadhibhi Yoginam Dvashta Papanam Bahiranta Sharirishu Chittaketur Uvacha Bhagavan kim na viditam tapo jnana samadhibi yoginam tvashta papanam bahiranta sharirishu. This is what they said. Oh, 22 also. 23, 23, 24, 25. Yes. So I may speak a few words about this verse also. Yes, yes, yes. Anyway, translation. Well, Chitraketu Vacha, King Chitraketu replied, Bhagavan, O most powerful sage, Kim, what? Na, not. Viditam is understood. Tapa, by austerity. Jnana, knowledge. Samadhi, and by samadhi, transcendental meditation. Yoginam, by the great yogis or devotees. Dvashtapapanam, who are fully freed from all sinful reactions. Bahi, externally. Anta, internally. Sharirishu, in conditioned souls who have material bodies. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. King Chitraketu said, O great Lord Angira, because of austerity, knowledge, and transcendental samadhi, you are free from all the reactions of sinful life. Therefore, as a perfect yogi, you can understand everything external and internal regarding embodied conditioned souls like us. Om Jnanatimirandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Vichaitanyamano Stapitam Yena Bhutade Swayam Rupakada Mahyam Tadati Swapatantikam Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutade Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So there's no purport, but just a few little points about this verse. So it is said whenever you address a Vaishnava or a great saintly person or anyone actually, because Manadina, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, we must recognize every living entity with respect because they have Paramatma in the heart. So everyone must be respected. So here he says, why are you to be respected above others? Tapo jnana samadhi. Because you perform austerities. You perform, you have great knowledge. But most important, you are samadhi. Just like it says in Mundaka Upanishad that Samitpani Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam, that the qualification of the spiritual master is Shrotriyam. They have heard transcendental knowledge, and Brahmanishtam, Samadhi. They put it into practice. Not that we should be theoretical bhaktas, that we learn something and then we know it and we can chant all kinds of verses and mantras, but then we do anything we want. No. Sometimes also we have the phenomenon in our movement, because we're not freed from the modes of nature, that we become older devotees and we get older devotees syndrome, where now I'm above everybody else. Actually, older devotee means the older you get in transcendental realization, the more you are below everyone else. Although you may have to have a position and you may have to receive the respect from others, as Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur would do. Every time someone offered him obeisances, he would say, Dasoshmi, I'm your servant. Whatever position I'm accepting, because that's the order of Mahaprabhu, that Jaritakatare kaha Krishnu padesh amara gyaya guru hanyatare desh. The duty of everyone is to be guru. If you join the temple today, then tomorrow you are guru for the person who joins tomorrow. Meaning you have to at least act in such a way that will be inspiring for them. Even if you don't know anything. Even if you never know anything, because some people are not so intellectually inclined or capable. But that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Therefore, Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji, he accepted by Yoga Maya, he accepted the position of being very simple. But his realizations were so deep that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur took initiation from him. So, all these externals. But if those externals are there, we still respect someone. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he respected Ramachandra Puri, even though he was critical and very bad attitude. But he respected him because he was the god brother of his guru. So he respected him. But his guru rejected him because he thought he had knowledge. A devotee never thinks I have knowledge, but I have received knowledge by the mercy of Sri Guru and Gauranga. Not that I have knowledge. I'm simply using what my guru has given me. Just like Govinda, the servant of Ramanuja, one day all of the Brahmins were praising him because he was such a humble devotee, so learned, and they said, you are all this and that, and he said, yes, I agree. What? How can you agree? We just glorified you and you're saying, yes, I'm very glorious. So they went to Ramanuja. He's puffed up. He thinks he's better than us. Ramanuja called him and said, so you said this? Yes, Guru Maharaj. He said, because anything I have, yogeta vicharya kichu nahi pai tomara karuna sara. Because everything I have, anything I have is only due to your mercy. And therefore I accepted what they said because it is glorification of you. And then all the Brahmins, they became a little humble. So we may have these things, and drashta papanam, we may be devoid of all sinful activities, but still we think this is just the mercy of Sri Guru. This is the mercy of the Parambara, that I'm able to act in this way. Tomorrow, one time, Srila Prabhupada, one time he was, like receiving the deities, he was praying. And one devotee said, Prabhupada, every day you are praying. So what are you praying for? And Prabhupada said, I am praying that I will not fall down. And he was thinking like that. He wasn't thinking, let me just do some theatrical for this devotee so that he'll think like that. No. He was thinking, I may fall down. Very dangerous. So this material world is very dangerous. Param patam jati param natesham. Every step is dangerous. Therefore, we should not become too comfortable. Prabhupada said, don't become too comfortable, because even if you're sitting comfortably in your home, you can have a heart attack, or this can happen. Just like I read an article about a couple of years ago. Some people that were sitting in their home, and some drunkard was driving and fell asleep, and the car ran right into their home and killed them. They were sitting there, watching the television, nice, warm, feeling very good. So we never know. So therefore we have to take avyarta kalatvam. We have to take advantage of every moment to be ayur harati vai pumsam. That every time udyan astam jan asan. That every time the sun rises and falls, the devotee, people lose one day, but a devotee, because tasya te niti uttama shloka vartaya, because the devotee is always glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead, every moment becomes a great treasure in their hearts. So I'll go to the next verse. So therefore, when we meet devotees, especially devotees, or anyone, but especially devotees, one of the qualities of a Vaishnava, according to Krishnas Kaviraj Goswami, they're always friendly. If we are extensions of Krishna, we are preaching on behalf of Krishna, and Krishna says, Suridam Sarvabhutanam, and Kapila Dev says, Suridam Sarvadehinam, we should be the friend of every living entity. And Krishna says, I am the friend of every living entity. If you're representing Krishna, you can't think this is a rascal. We may say they're rascals, because they are rascals, but they're temporary rascals, temporarily covered by the three modes of nature. So the next verse, Tatapi Prachito Bhuyam Brahmanatmani Chitchintitam Bhavato Vidushas Chapi Chodidastvam Anugyaya. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. O great soul, you are aware of everything, yet you are asking me why I am full of anxiety. Therefore, in response to your order, let me disclose the cause. So, one may ask, if Angira Muni is aware, he's Trikalagya, he's aware of everything, why is he asking him? He already knows. He's asking him so that he will understand that I am in Maya. He doesn't need to know. Just like Krishna doesn't need to know anything about us. Reveal ourselves, and by revealing and by praying to Krishna, we should be becoming aware of what is my condition. Especially if we're asking Krishna for material things. Just like Dhruva Maharaj, when he was praying to the Lord, or even when he was speaking to Narada Muni, he was thinking, this is not good. Here I am, the Guru told me to do something, and I don't want to do it. And he said, I'm sorry, I am a Kshatriya. What can I do? Kshatriya nature is very powerful. I can't control it. So he said to the Lord, he was praying for the kingdom. He was praying he was doing austerities and penances to get a kingdom. And finally, when the Lord appeared and blessed him by touching him on the head with a conch shell, then he became completely aware. So when Krishna touches us by his mercy, be that mercy something that is favorable to our senses and our mind, or that is not so favorable to my conception of what is good for me. We should know it is good for me. It is Krishna's blessing. And once we accept that blessing, then we get transcendental knowledge. Well, he says, in response to your order, he says here, Chodita, I am inspired. I am illuminated by your question. But still, he still wanted a son. I understand it's all your mercy, but, and so we do that all the time. And when we don't do that anymore, we just think, whatever Krishna wants for me, from me, that is what I'll do. That's why Sankirtan is so important. Because doing the Sankirtan Yagya, and this is not just for brahmacharis. Some people think, especially the congregation, there might be some congregational people listening. We might have some congregational that would think, oh, that's for the brahmacharis. No. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, especially, and I've mentioned this several times, but I'll mention it again, that those who are born in India, Manusha Janmajar, who have taken human birth in India, then their Janma Sartaka Kori Koro Para Upakar. And Srila Prabhupada, in that purport, he says that the leaders in India, meaning the wealthy people, the government leaders, they should be making arrangements to send people. Prabhupada was very frustrated when he wanted to bring missionaries here and he couldn't get proper visas. They had to come and go to Nepal, go to Pakistan, go to Bangladesh, come and go. And Prabhupada said, this is the duty of the leaders, that India has the greatest treasure, but its treasure is being hidden by people in the name of economic progress. Just like I read an article, sometimes these articles pop up, and it said, the problem in India is all the women are not working. Otherwise, then they would have economic growth, and then the children will be neglected like everywhere else and become confused and be wanting to change their gender at 12 years old. That's what's happening in the U.S. Sometimes people think, oh, they're very progressive. Yes, we're so progressive that 12-year-old children, should I be a man or a woman? So is this what we want? Not taking care of the children. Actually, when COVID started, I saw one article, and one people said, the women don't know what to do because they couldn't go to work. They have to take care of their children. Like what's wrong with this? They have to take care of their children. This is horrible. Daycare centers are not available. So this is the confusion that we live in the age of Kali. And therefore, every devotee, and especially the grihastas are the best preachers, not the sannyasis, not the brahmacharis. Because if a normal person sees a grihasta, in India it's a little different, but not so much. They see, oh yeah, it's very nice, he's doing it. I can't do that. They see a sannyasi, brahmachari, vanaprastha. I can't do that. This is like the Christians. They say, oh, Christ, yeah, he's great, but I can't do that. Well, what did he come to preach for? Just so everybody could say, I can't do that? No, he came to give everyone transcendental knowledge. So the grihastas are the best preachers. That's why the verse I just quoted, Jaritaka Tarikaha, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told this to a grihasta who wanted to join him and be part of his retinue, his following. He said, no, you stay at home and you preach to everyone around you. Because if you do that, they will think, oh, he's like me. He has a house, he has a family, he has a job, and he's Krishna conscious. And therefore, if he can do it or she can do it, I can do it also. But if they see some sannyasi, well, he's got this, he's got some people taking him around in a car, doesn't have to work, like me, so it's not practical. Whatever example, it's not practical for me. What he says sounds good, but then when he leaves, I'll get back to business as usual. So the grihastas have a very important, therefore every grihasta, I would say for this marathon, should buy at least one box of books. Actually, Prabhupada says that. He said that he was saying that in one letter, that every grihasta should buy some books and you give them out. Just one box of books for this whole marathon, at least one box. And if every grihasta does that, and it convinces at least one other grihasta to do it, then we will always double our distribution. I tell devotees, this is my formula. that at least you distribute one book a week. Everybody. Everybody. Doesn't matter who you are. You take it to work, you give it away. You pay for it and give it away. Doesn't matter. No. And then you convince one of those 52 people to do the same thing, at least one, and we will double this book distribution every year. No. Because we can't do it by making, we can't make twice as many brahmacharis every year to be able to double book distribution. Because some of the brahmacharis will become grihastas, and then they'll have to go to this other program. So this is how I've conceived how we can double distribution every year. But that's the responsibility of the grihastas. So please, do your duty. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling you to do this. Srila Prabhupada is telling you to do this. No. There's one group, probably most of you haven't heard this, one group in the West. They're also in India, but not so much. We don't see them too much in this area. Jehovah's Witness. They have the strangest philosophy you'll ever hear. I read some of their books, and I mean, I know something about Christianity. It's not even like good Christianity, but they distribute, last year, they distributed 110 million pieces of literature. You know, we think we're doing really good. They did better than us. Every member has to go out 2 times a week for at least 2 hours. Everyone. Especially they don't have brahmacharis, but everybody goes out. Everybody has to do this. And they pay for the books, and they give them books, magazines, whatever, and they give them out to the people. You imagine. 4.5 million going out every day. We don't do that. No. And we have more people than they do. And if we count our congregation in India and everywhere, but, so we can learn from these people. Their missionary, their philosophy is 0. Maybe minus, -2, -3. But their missionary spirit is what Srila Prabhupada wanted for all of us. And this is for everyone. Everyone can go out at least 2 hours a week. Go out and just distribute books to people. Even you pay for them and give them out. Or we can sponsor. Somebody doesn't have any money, can sponsor. We'll figure out a way. And that way, we'll get so many millions and millions of books and Bhagavad Gitas and Prabhupada's books out to everyone. So this is what's being spoken about here. So we'll go to the next verse. Lokapalaya api pratya samrajaishvarya sampara nanandayat yapajamam kshutrit kamam ivapare. Just as a person aggrieved by hunger and thirst is not pleased by the external gratification of flower garlands or sandalwood pulp, I am not pleased with my empire, opulence, or possessions, which are desirable even for great demigods, because I have no son. No. Big problem. Of course, Dasharat, we can say Dasharat was the father of Krishna. He's Vasudeva. He's Vasudeva, in previous incarnation. So how could he be lamenting? He was lamenting because he said the Ikshvaku dynasty is purifying the world. And if I don't continue it, so he had a noble desire. He had a noble desire. Otherwise, anything we desire, if we use it properly, then it becomes spiritualized. Anything. So, it says here in this verse that we just read, he said, I don't care about my empire, possessions, opulences. Parikshit Maharaj said the same thing when he was, after he was bitten, after he was cursed. He said, finally I can give up this kingdom and treasury and all these responsibilities, elephants and horses and soldiers. He was just waiting for this opportunity. And we're thinking, I've come to Krishna consciousness, but how will I survive? How will I get what I need? So, just the opposite. When we come to, Prabhupada said, whatever you have when you come to Krishna consciousness, you should be satisfied with that and offer it to Krishna. Of course, sometimes we acquire more to be able to serve Krishna better. Even as Grihastas, Prabhupada said, you should live comfortably, but not too comfortably. Not so comfortably that you forget about sadhana bhakti. That level of comfort is not. But some comfort is necessary for everyone. No. Otherwise, you will become proud of your austerities. Rupa Goswami says that too much austerity simply hardens the heart. No. The austerity should be a product of bhakti. Jnana chayada haitukam jnanam chayada. What is it? Jnana yasyuvayaragyam jnanam chayadu haitukam. That austerity and knowledge should be a product of bhakti. Not that they will give us bhakti. They may be favorable like fertile ground so that bhakti can sprout. But actually real knowledge and real renunciation means that param dristvani vartate. I am so happy in Krishna consciousness that I don't need this anymore. So this is the real. So he's thinking, I have no son. So I'll just go to the last verse in this series, and we have a purport by Srila Prabhupada, although it's not a very philosophical one, but it's a purport, and it's transcendental. Tatapahi mahabhaga purvaya sahagatam tama yata tarima dushparam prajaya tadvidehena. Therefore, O great sage, please save me and my forefathers who are descending to the darkness of hell because I have no progeny. Kindly do something so that I may have a son to deliver us from hellish conditions. Purport. According to Vedic civilization, one gets married simply to have a son who is needed to offer oblations to his forefathers. King Chitraketu responsibly desired to beget a child so that he and his forefathers might be delivered from the darkest regions. He was concerned how to get pinda, oblations, in the next life, not only for himself, but for his forefathers. Therefore he requested Angira Rishi to favor him by doing something that could help him get a son. So he's a great king. He's a pious king. He's actually a pure devotee. So why is he thinking about his benefit? Because we have to think about it. This is Krishna's instruction. Sarvadhamam parityajam mamekam sharanam braja. Krishna doesn't say, just forget about yourself and just go out and help others. No. To be able to help others, you have to be Krishna conscious. You can't help others if you're not. How can you give something you don't have? One time Srila Prabhupada was sitting and devotees were going out on Sankirtan. And one devotee stopped and said, Prabhupada, please bless me to distribute these books. And Prabhupada said, have you read it? Oh, no, Prabhupada. Then how will you will convince them? I have not read, you should read. No. I said, Prabhupada, I have made these books for you. No. First, we take Srila Prabhupada's book, we hear and we chant, then we can go. When Srila Prabhupada was in Miami, the deities that had just been installed, Gaurnitai, Prabhupada said, Gaurnitai, the Chaitanya and Nityananda Prabhu, they have come to bless you. He said, there is no need for Radha and Krishna. He said, that is very elevated. They will bless you. And the next day during the class, Prabhupada says, so when you go out on Sankirtan, take Gaurnitai with you. Do not leave them in the temple. They do not want to stay in the temple. Prabhupada said, take them in your heart and go out. So this is the mood of Sankirtan. I'm taking the holy name, and I'm taking Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu in my heart. Just like Chaitanya, when Srivas lost his son, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, do not lament. You have lost one son and you have gained two. Now, Nityananda and I, we are your sons. No? So, this is how the Sankirtan devotee, I cannot distribute any books. I don't know who is pious and who is impious. I don't know who deserves this. Let the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu guide me and take me to whatever person he feels that he wants to bless. I will ask anyone, because that's what he says. You go to everyone, don't discriminate. But he will reveal. I am simply his servant. And we beg them for this mercy. Please let me be your servant. Every time someone doesn't take a book, we should think, I'm not very serious. Therefore, he didn't allow me. He didn't take me to the right person. He took me to someone to smash my false ego. And today, he did a very good job. I got smashed like 300 times. But keep trying. We never give up. A devotee never gives up. Dridha vrata. That is our never give up, no matter what. So, a hellish condition. How can the king, a pious king, have a hellish condition? So we can read when Yamunacharya was challenged, Kolahala, the priest of the Pandya king, he gave him 3 questions. He said, if you can answer these 3 questions, these 3 statements, riddles, statements, if you can counteract them, then I will be defeated. So first he said, your mother is barren. Your mother is not barren. So he would have to say, to counteract it, my mother is barren. So he was bewildered. And then he said, the king is pious. How can I say the king is not pious? I can't say that. What is this, some trick? And then he said, the queen is chaste. I'm going to say, he said, you're a rascal. You are insulting the king and the queen. You answer these questions. And if you don't answer them, you should be executed for insulting the king and the queen. He said, no. He said, actually in Manu Samhita it says, if a woman only has 1 son, she is considered to be barren. Since your mother only had 1 son, she is barren. No. And the king, although our king is very virtuous and pious, the king accepts 1/6 of the pious activities and 1/6 of the impious activities. And since we're in Kali Yuga, there's more impious activities, and therefore the king is not pious. And then he said, the queen, it says that the king is the representative of the 8 principal demigods. And therefore, she's married to the king, she's married also to 8 demigods. So therefore, she's not fully chaste. He was defeated, and the king came and embraced him. But the point is that to have a son or not to have a son, the Shastras explain everything in such a way that yes, his desire to have a son is good, but because it was a material desire, for my benefit, Nate vidu swartakatim hi Vishnu. Prahlad Maharaj says that swartagata, swartagata means for your own benefit. If you know what's good for you, then you will worship Vishnu. Or if you know what the ultimate goal is, then you will worship Vishnu. So if you're in the first category, I want something for me, then you can get it through bhakti, but you won't get prema bhakti. And if you get it through the second means, then you will be on a progressive march. So that's the reason why he actually didn't need this. He didn't need to have a son. But this is all Yoga Maya. He's a pure devotee. This is Yoga Maya, acting to teach us that we should be satisfied with what Krishna gives us. And no more. We don't need any more. We don't need any less. We need what Krishna gives us. So anyway, the time is up, actually. And I have to obey the temple authorities and the Sankirtan schedule. But if there's one quick question, there may be like 30 seconds. So there's one Mataji, she was quick on the draw. No? So, yes. Let me just put in my apparatus here. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Maharaj, Vaishnav Pranam. मेरा क्वेश्चन था कि जैसे गृहस्थ sorry, I was asking like when grahas go for the preaching and they distribute books, but still we have material desires even while distributing. Like why didn't they take the book? So we have this attachment to the world, and when we are in Krishna consciousness, still just like Chitraketu Maharaj had his attachment with the sun, we all have with some things. So how can we get rid of this attachment, detachment?
Can you repeat that? You have better ears.
Saying that we have many material desires, like Maharaj Chitraketu. So I just read the books also, we have many desires. How to get out of these?
That's what Prabhupada, everything that Prabhupada says is how to get out of it. No. Otherwise we just have to follow Srila Prabhupada's program. We all have material desires. Otherwise we wouldn't be here in the material world. Unless you came from Goloka Vrindavan, no, maybe, no, to help us all. Otherwise, if you didn't, or any of us didn't come directly from Goloka Vrindavan, and we shouldn't be thinking, well, maybe I did. No, maybe, no. If you came from Goloka Vrindavan, you will know it. No? So if we didn't, then we're all in the same situation. And it doesn't matter, even if someone is a big devotee, we still have some desire. No? Some personal desire will be there. Even just the presence of the material body will generate material desires. So, what do? We offer them to Krishna. Therefore, Narottam Das Thakur said, what is it? Kama Krishna Arpanam. That you take your desires and you offer that to Krishna. Otherwise, if I want to play music, if I'm a musician, and my desire is to play music, okay, I'll do it for Krishna. But not in some imaginary way, following the acharyas, Narottam Das Thakur, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. We learn to glorify Krishna in that way. So we just do what Srila Prabhupada taught us to do, and what the Vaishnavas teach us to do. And gradually the material desires will diminish. And if they're not diminishing, we have to listen more carefully. Right. So one more quick question. Yes.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Maharaji, for this wonderful lecture. My question is, as many times we have heard that this material world is very temporary, and today also you said that anytime anything can happen. But then it's very difficult to remember this, and especially I don't remember it. So how to keep it in mind always, so that I should be alert in my service and sadhana.
Well, it's a prison. It's called Durga, which means difficult to proceed. So actually, one time I was preaching in the prisons in the U.S., and one time I told them, so if you follow this process, you can get out of here. And one said, I don't want to get out. He said, I eat better here than I did at home. I was poor. I had no money. So I was stealing, and they put me in prison. Now I eat better than at home, so I don't want to leave. And I said, anyway, so I kept preaching. Finally, okay, if it's like that, I'll leave. So, but yeah, sometimes we don't realize how miserable the material world is. And therefore Narada Muni said, it is the duty of every living entity to observe the suffering condition of all other living entities. Because you may take that body. You may have a nice body now. Just like we spoke the other day in Disappearance Day of Srila Prabhupada. Rajaputram Chira Jiva. If you're a Rajaputra, if you have like opulence, then let me live a long time. Because I'm enjoying life, and therefore I'm accumulating reactions, karma. And in the next life, who knows what kind of body I'll get. So if we observe the dogs, of course dogs in America, maybe people would think, well, that's not so bad. But dogs in India, not so good, and then if you observe the cows in America, then, oh, no, that's not very good. So if we observe, you see these living entities, one after eating, jiva jivasya jivanam, one eating another. We just have to, so Narada Muni, this is what he recommends. If you just see how everyone is suffering. I may not be suffering at this point in time, although probably I am, but because my suffering is less than others, then I feel fortunate. And so that's the process. Then we become convinced that I have nothing to do in this material world except get out. And once I get out, meaning once I accept Srila Prabhupada's teachings and this Bhagavatam in my heart, then I have to help others. Because that's Krishna's desire. They are parts and parcels of Krishna. They're all parts and parcels of Krishna. So if I'm serving Krishna, I have to serve his parts and parcels. So that's Sankirtan. That's the Sankirtan movement. Harinam Sankirtan, book distribution, prasadam distribution, all this is the Sankirtan movement. But right now we're concerned with books. In January we can do prasadam. So I don't want to get chastised by the management, so we'll stop here. Thank you very much. All glory to Srila Prabhupada, Shri Guru, Shri Gauranga, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai.